Why God woke you up this morning. The truth you need to hear. This morning, as your eyes fluttered open and light pierced through the curtain, something eternal was already at work. It wasn't your alarm clock. It wasn't coincidence. It wasn't just your body deciding it had enough sleep. It was God, the same God who hung every star, who spoke galaxies into existence, gently stirred your soul and said, "Rise, my child. I'm not done with you yet." You see, there's a holy intention behind your waking. Before your feet even touched the ground, heaven had already whispered your name. There is breath in your lungs, not by chance, but by choice, God's choice. And in that moment, whether you realized it or not, the Creator extended another invitation to live, to trust, to walk with Him again. Sometimes we wake up burdened and confused or weary. We may even wonder why we're still here when the world feels so heavy. But the truth is this: if you're alive today, God is still writing your story. He didn't wake you up to watch you drift. He woke you up to remind you there's purpose in your pain, power in your presence, and promise in your path. This isn't just another morning. This is a divine appointment. And the one who called your name in the dark wants to walk with you in the light. So before you rush into the noise of the day, pause. He woke you up for a reason. Let's discover why together. Number 1, because you are still part of His plan. You may not see it right now. Life might feel chaotic, repetitive, or even meaningless. But the truth is, your very existence, your waking up this morning, is evidence that God's plan for you is still unfolding. You are not a leftover thought in heaven. You are not forgotten. The Lord of all creation has etched your name into the story. He is still writing, and every single morning He wakes you up is another line being added to that story. God is not in the business of accidents. He is not careless with time, and He is not careless with breath. If He allowed your heart to beat through the night and your eyes to see another sunrise, it means there is more for you to do, more for you to experience, more for you to become. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're not too broken. You're right where He has you, and He is still working. Remember what He said through the prophet Jeremiah, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope." That wasn't just a verse for ancient Israel, it's a promise that lives and breathes today, just as you do. And every time you open your eyes to a new morning, God is reaffirming that promise over you. Maybe you don't feel like part of any plan. Maybe you're stuck in a routine or carrying disappointment so heavy it numbs you. But feelings are not facts, and God's silence is never absent. Even in the mundane, even in the waiting, even in the wilderness, God is weaving together the strands of your life with divine purpose. You're not just here to get through another day. You're here because the story is not finished. There is still something God wants to reveal in you, something He wants to do through you, and something He wants to heal within you. So the next time you open your eyes in the morning, don't brush it off as ordinary. Don't assume you just happened to wake up. Know this: heaven hasn't turned the page yet. The author of your life is still writing, and He's not finished with you. Not today. Not yet. Not yet. Number 2, because there's still work to be done. God doesn't wake people up without reason. He doesn't hand out mornings just for us to exist. When He wakes you up, He's saying, there's still something I've placed in you that the world needs. There's still a task only you can complete. You might not feel ready. You might feel unqualified, overlooked, or tired. But your presence today is proof that heaven has a job for your hands, a word for your mouth, a mission for your heart. Think of the parable Jesus told about the master who entrusted his servants with talents. The ones who were faithful with what they were given were the ones who heard, "Well done." That story isn't just about money or ability. It's about responsibility. God entrusts us with life, with people, with moments. And every new day is another chance to be faithful with what He's put in our hands. You are not here to merely pass the time. You're here to leave an imprint of God's love on this earth. Whether that looks like raising children, building a business, writing a book, encouraging a stranger, or simply praying for someone who can't pray for themselves, God calls it all meaningful. There is work to be done that only your heart, your voice, and your hands can accomplish. And let's be honest, sometimes the work is quiet. Sometimes it doesn't come with applause. Sometimes the fruit isn't visible. But that doesn't mean it's not valuable. God sees the seeds you plant in private. He sees the burdens you carry for others. He sees the kindness you offer when no one's watching. This is kingdom work. And if you're still breathing, you're still called. You may not feel strong today, but your assignment didn't disappear overnight. Your purpose didn't evaporate with yesterday's troubles. Even in your weakness, God says, "My strength is made perfect." So even if your steps are slow, even if your heart is heavy, keep moving. You're still needed, you're still chosen. And the reason you woke up today is because heaven still has your name on the schedule. There's someone waiting for your obedience. There's someone who will be lifted because you showed up. The work is not finished yet, and neither are you. Number 3, because His mercy is new every morning. There are mornings we wake up feeling the weight of yesterday pressing hard on our chest: regret, failure, shame, exhaustion. We remember the words we shouldn't have spoken, the decisions we wish we could undo, the thoughts we tried to silence but couldn't. We carry burdens like old clothes we don't know how to take off. But then the sun rises, and with it, so does something holy. A new mercy, a fresh beginning. Scripture tells us clearly in Lamentations, "Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for His compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." That's not poetic exaggeration. That is truth breathed by the Spirit of God. His mercy doesn't run on yesterday's mistakes. It doesn't dry up overnight. It doesn't depend on how good you were or how well you performed. It shows up faithfully like the dawn, not because of who you are, but because of who He is. God doesn't hold yesterday against you the way you might hold it against yourself. He's not waking you up to remind you of how much you got wrong. He's waking you up to remind you of how much He still loves you. His mercy says, "Try again." His mercy says, "You're forgiven." His mercy says, "Let's start fresh." And that kind of mercy, new every single morning, isn't weak or sentimental. It's powerful. It restores what guilt has stolen. It silences the enemy's lies. It gives you courage to stand when all you want to do is hide. God's mercy isn't just a concept, it's the very breath behind your rising. So when you wake up and you feel like you're not enough, when yesterday's scars still sting, remember this: the morning itself is a sermon. It's God saying, "I have not given up on you." He didn't bring you into a new day to condemn you. He brought you here to remind you that grace still holds your name. His love has outlasted the night. His mercy has outrun your shame. And now here you are standing in a fresh start. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing to receive what He's already offering. A new morning, a new mercy, a new chance to walk with Him again. Number 4, because you're a vessel of blessing to others. You may not realize it, but someone's breakthrough is tied to your obedience. Someone's healing might begin with your kindness. Someone's hope could be restored through your story. God didn't design you to live in isolation or insignificance. You are a vessel chosen, shaped, and sent so that through you, others might experience His love in real ways. When God wakes you up, He's not just calling you into your own life. He's calling you into someone else's too. Every encounter, every interaction, every word you speak carries potential. That hug you give to a grieving friend, the encouraging text you send without being asked, the prayer you whisper for a coworker, those are not random. Those are divine assignments. Think of Joseph. His journey was full of betrayal, false accusations, and prison walls. But God kept waking him up day after day, not just for his own sake, but because one day he would feed a nation and save a generation. He was a vessel, and while his circumstances didn't always make sense, God was preparing him to be the answer to someone else's crisis. You are not too small to be used by God. The enemy would love for you to believe your life doesn't make a difference, that no one notices, that no one cares, that heaven sees what you cannot. There are people whose lives will be changed because you chose to show up, because you listened to the prompting, because you said yes to God's nudge when it would have been easier to say no. Sometimes we look for big platforms or perfect moments to make an impact, but God often works through the quiet faithfulness of ordinary days. That conversation in the grocery store, that extra moment you take to really listen, that gesture of forgiveness when you have every reason to stay bitter. These are the moments where heaven touches earth through your life. God wakes you up, not just to bless you, but to bless through you. He pours into your life so that you might overflow into others. You are not empty. You are not forgotten. You are chosen to carry light into dark places. You are called to lift burdens, to speak truth, to reflect the heart of the Father. So the next time you wonder why you've been given another morning, remember, someone is waiting for your love. Someone needs your strength. Someone's prayer might be answered through your hands. You are the vessel and God is still pouring. Number 5, because your worship matters. There is something sacred about the first breath you take when you wake up. Before the distractions begin, before the demands start pulling at your time, there's a holy stillness, a window of intimacy between you and the one who gave you life. God doesn't just wake you up so you can go about your day. He wakes you up because He longs to hear your voice. Your worship matters to Him more than you can imagine. You were created to worship, not as an obligation, but as a response to His goodness, His mercy, His faithfulness that carried you through the night. Worship is more than a song or a Sunday service. It's a posture of the heart. It's when you wake up and whisper, "Thank you." It's when you choose to honor Him in the quiet before the world gets loud. It's when you surrender your plans, your fears, your hopes to Him at the beginning of the day. God doesn't need our worship to be elaborate. He just wants it to be real. A moment of genuine praise in the morning can shift the entire trajectory of your day. It recalibrates your soul. It reminds you of who He is and who you are in Him. When you start with worship, you're not just inviting peace into your life, you're declaring to every power in heaven and on earth that God is still Lord over it all. Think of David, a man after God's own heart. He said, "In the morning, Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning I lay my request before you and wait expectantly." David didn't begin his battles with strategy, he began with worship. He didn't start his victories with strength, he started with surrender. Your worship in the morning might not sound like much to others. It might be a quiet song in the kitchen or a whispered prayer before your feet hit the floor. But to God, it's everything. It's your heart reaching for His. It's your spirit aligning with truth. It's your soul finding its anchor before the storm even has a chance to rise. Worship isn't just about music. It's about magnifying God above everything else. And when you do that at the start of the day, you're building a foundation no chaos can shake. You're reminding yourself that the world doesn't revolve around your strength, but around His sovereignty. So if you're wondering why He woke you up today, remember this: He misses your voice. He treasures your praise. He delights in your presence. And He longs to meet with you in the stillness of morning before anything else can compete for your attention, because your worship matters to heaven, to your heart, and to the God who never stops loving you. Number 6, because you are still in the battle and the victory is coming. When God wakes you up, it's not always because you feel strong. Sometimes He wakes you up while you're still in the middle of the storm, still carrying the weight of unanswered prayers, still wrestling with fear, still bleeding from yesterday's wounds. But the fact that you woke up is not a sign of defeat. It's a sign you're still in the fight. And if you're still in the fight, then God still has victory in store for you. Spiritual warfare is real. There is a battle raging, not just around you but within you, between faith and doubt, light and darkness, truth and lies. And every morning that you rise, God is recommissioning you. He's saying, put your armor back on. I'm not done with you yet. You may feel weary. You may feel outnumbered, but you are not abandoned. You are not alone. The captain of heaven's army stands beside you. Paul wrote to the Ephesians, urging them to put on the full armor of God: truth, righteousness, readiness, faith, salvation, and the sword of the Spirit. That wasn't a metaphor to be admired. It was a daily necessity. And why? Because the days are evil. Because the battle doesn't pause when you sleep. Because the enemy would love nothing more than for you to believe that being tired means you've lost. But that's not true. Being tired means you're human. Being awake means you're chosen. Every day you wake up is another chance to stand your ground. Even if you only have strength to whisper, "God, help me," that's enough. Even if you can't see the victory yet, God already sees the finish line. And sometimes He wakes you up not because the fight is over, but because He's getting ready to show you what He can do when you trust Him with your weakness. You might not see the purpose behind the pressure right now. The battle might feel like it's breaking you, but heaven sees something different. Heaven sees growth in your endurance. Heaven sees courage in your quiet persistence. Heaven sees glory being birthed in your resistance. So don't count yourself out. Don't let the enemy convince you that you've lost just because the war isn't over yet. God wakes you up each morning as a reminder, I'm still with you. The battle belongs to me, and your story ends in victory. He hasn't brought you this far to leave you in the middle. He's training your hands for battle and your heart for glory. Victory may not come today, but today is proof that it's still coming. Keep standing, keep believing. You are still in the battle, and the King is still fighting for you. Number 7. Because He loves you and wants to walk with you today. Before anything else, before your to-do list, before your deadlines, before the demands of people or the weight of the world, God wakes you up because He loves you. Not because of what you can do for Him, not because you've earned another day, but simply because you matter to Him. Your existence is wrapped in His affection, and He longs not just for your service, but for your company. God didn't create you just to work for Him. He created you to walk with Him, just like He walked with Adam in the cool of the day. Just like He called Enoch to walk with Him until he walked right into eternity. Just like He invited Abraham to leave everything behind and go on a journey with no destination but God Himself. That same invitation is extended to you every single morning. When your eyes open, it's not just the start of another routine. It's a divine whisper that says, let's walk together today. He doesn't want to be a distant figure you occasionally visit. He wants to be your closest companion. In the quiet, in the chaos, in the in-between moments. He's not looking for perfection. He's looking for presence, yours. Some days you may feel unworthy to walk with Him. Shame might speak louder than grace. But God's love isn't fragile. It doesn't pull away when you stumble. It draws near. It stays. It carries you when your strength is gone. His love is the kind that shows up when no one else does. The kind that pursues you even when you're running. The kind that doesn't grow tired of your brokenness. You don't have to earn His attention. You already have it. You don't have to climb your way into His favor. He already poured it out through Jesus. That's why every morning matters, because it's another chance to walk with the one who never stops loving you. He wants to be with you in the laughter and the tears, in the victories and the defeats, in the ordinary and the sacred. This walk isn't about speed or distance. It's about closeness. It's about learning to lean into His voice instead of the noise. It's about knowing that the same God who walks beside you in the morning will still be there at sunset, faithful and kind, every step of the way. So if you're wondering why you woke up again today, remember this. It's because He wants to be with you. He loves you. And He's not asking for performance. He's just asking for your heart. Let today be a walk, not a race. Let it be a journey, not a checklist. Let it be with Him. You didn't wake up today by accident. You didn't stir from your sleep just because your body said so. God, full of purpose, mercy, and love, called your name again. He breathed life into your lungs and opened your eyes to a brand new morning. Why? Because you're still part of His story. Because there's still something sacred He's doing in you and through you. Because His mercy covered you through the night and is waiting to carry through this day. You woke up because heaven still has work for you to do. You woke up because someone needs what you carry. You woke up because your worship still moves the heart of God and your presence still shakes the gates of hell. You woke up because God is not finished and the enemy didn't win. You woke up because He loves you more than you'll ever understand and He wants to walk beside you not just today but every day. So don't take this day for granted. Don't rush past this moment. Lift your eyes, breathe deep, say thank you. And then step into the day, knowing that the one who woke you up walks with you still. If this message encouraged you, we invite you to subscribe to Bible Talks for more truth-filled reminders that God is not done with you yet. Your story matters, your faith matters, and every morning, your life begins again with God. Let's keep walking together.